And we're heading southwest out of Sturgis. Welcome to the channel. Captain Jim bringing you another scooter ride. A narrated version. Heading southwest out of the town of Sturgis to one of my favorite rides in the Black Hills, Vanocker Canyon. It'll take us from Sturgis to just outside the small community of Nemo up in the Black Hills. So you can see not a lot of traffic on this road. During the motorcycle rally, it'll be wall-to-wall traffic. I'd say bumper to bumper, but front wheel to back wheel for motorcycles along this route. 17 miles to Nemo, and this doesn't have quite the curvy attractions like you'd see on Iron Mountain Road, but it is it's a fun ride because you can go a little faster and it's more sweeping turns. Off to the right is a winery. Part of the gentrification of western South Dakota. Okay, we're just now coming into Vanocker Canyon. When we first moved here in 1977, this was a gravel road. Love to see those curvy signs telling you what's ahead. Alright, the first of the sweeping curves. And I'll plan on letting the video run, so there won't necessarily be a lot of narrating all the way through this. Fire danger today is high. We've had a little rain the last couple of days, mostly overnight, but I don't think it's amounted to much. Most of the area here is in a drought, and thunderstorms predicted overnight for the next 3 days or so. I'm riding Jones X-Max today, giving the Vespa a little break. Looks like they've got some road construction in places along here. Sign back there said 35-mile-an-hour speed limit. We're coming up on a series of 25-mile-an-hour curves. Taking that 25-mile-an-hour curve at a little over 40. This is the first time I've been on Vanocker Canyon Road since last year. Looks like they've put some blacktop over some of the parts of the road that were getting a little rough. Last time I rode it, by the time we got into the Pennington County portion, they had put tar snakes all over the road. And whatever they use on the tar snakes seemed to be made from monkey snot, goose shit, because those tar snakes get real slippery, especially when it's hot. Haven't come to those yet. So some people have asked me, how does the X-Max compare to the Vespa? It's definitely more performance oriented. The seating position is a little more aggressive. Looks like I'm running about 56 miles an hour right now, so there may be a little wind noise from the Insta-mic that I'm using in my helmet. The X-Max accelerates faster, will reach a higher top speed, and the brakes are better. Well then, why, Jim, are you riding a Vespa? Yeah, the Vespa is a very comfortable fit for me. Most of our riding is not highway type things. We enjoy towing the bikes behind the motorhome, taking them to fun places to be able to ride, like the Black Hills. More of those sweeping curves. And the X-Max holds the line very nice. Compared to a 600-pound sport bike, this is very flexible. Compared to the Vespa, the X-Max weighs right at 400 pounds and the Vespa is about 350 pounds with about a 6-8 inch shorter wheelbase. So from that you can rightfully assume that the Vespa will flick around a whole lot faster than this X-Max, but the X-Max feels very planted. Coming through a 25-mile-an-hour curve there. And hopefully the video will give you some idea of these nice sweeping curves here. Sunny day in the Black Hills. Temperature when I was in Sturgis was 83 degrees. We've been climbing steadily since then, and it's currently 78 degrees as we get deeper into the Black Hills here. The jacket I'm wearing is mesh with armor, and I'm wearing armor and aramid riding jeans, boots, and my Vespa gloves. The helmet is a Nolan N70 2 GT. It gives you the opportunity to make it a 3/4 helmet if you so desire, or snap the chin bar on. It's not like a modular helmet where you can lift it then. When you snap the chin bar on, it's on until you press the two little levers to remove it. So it gives you some of the safety features of a full face helmet with a whole lot better visibility through the face shield. I have another full face helmet, and you have to really look down. I mean, tilt your head down to be able to see the speedometer. while you're riding. With this Nolan, just literally a glance down with the eyes. I love that view of the curvy road up ahead. When I shoot videos with music, I can speed up or slow down the footage, and I do sometimes speed it up by 15% or so, just to keep the videos a little shorter. Can't do that with a narrated video like this, because you can't change the audio portion of it. Running about 54 miles an hour through that sweeper, and the bike in the road can handle a whole lot more than that. Another question I get asked frequently: well, Jim, if you like the Black Hills so much, why did you ever move from there? We really enjoyed living in the Black Hills. We lived in Sturgis for a few years, and then another 20 years or so in Spearfish. And Spearfish is a beautiful little town. And summers are spectacular here. It was also the time of the year when I had to work, with lucky if I get a day and a half off on the weekends. So you couldn't take advantage of the spectacular riding all that much. I used to go for a ride most nights after work. And it got to the point where winters lost their appeal to me. When we first moved here, we did all the winter esports things. We'd go four-wheeling up in the hills. We had season pass to the local ski areas. And then about 1985, Joan said to me one time at the end of January, "Take me someplace warm." And I'm feeling and hearing a lot of wind, so I'm hoping that the mic isn't clipping. So we went someplace warm. We went down to the Caribbean, and it was a wonderful break, and it convinced us that we did not have to stay here all winter long. Going from taking a couple of weeks off to temporary closing our business for a month, and then extending it from there either side. We were fortunate that we got to practice being retired for almost 15 years before we actually pulled the plug and decided to sell the business and retire. Yeah, waving to that rider and him waving back to me. That bikers are friendly here in the Black Hills. That'll change in a few weeks when there's so many people that waving stuff all goes away. But back to the winters. One of the Moments I enjoyed the most when we decided that we were going to retire, sell our home, sell our business, sell our commercial property, was selling a snowblower, actually trading it towards a generator for the boat that we were having built at the time, because we knew we were going boat cruising after we retired. You can see those hills in the background back there. The reason the Black Hills are called the Black Hills. Most of these trees that you see along either side of the road are ponderosa pines. They're dark green, and from a distance, like out on the prairie east, they tend to look black. Thus the Black Hills. Alright, and my mistake. We moved from Meade County into Lawrence County. Lawrence County is where we lived when we were in Spearfish. County seat is in Deadwood, and if you've heard of Deadwood, either from the TV series, or if you've come out to the Black Hills and chose to do a little gambling, Deadwood had the first legalized gambling not on an Indian reservation between Atlantic City and Las Vegas. They thought it would do $3 million in revenue. The first year it did almost $300 million in revenue. It changed the character of that town. It went from a sleepy little tourist town that was kind of busy during the days of days of 76 rodeo and the Sturgis Rally and winter sports, where people would stay there if they were skiing or snowmobiling. Black Hills is a snowmobiling mecca too. I never could get into that. My friend Dick Schieffer, who owns the Yamaha, BMW, Suzuki dealership in Sturgis, took me out a couple of times on snowmobiles, but it was just cold, even if you were dressed for it. Keeping my head down a little lower, see if I can tuck behind the windshield. Joan sits different on this bike than I do. She likes her windshield down low. I prefer mine a little higher. So I would imagine some of the wind noise is getting around. Man, this road is a delight with virtually no traffic. Able to do a pretty consistent 55 miles an hour without pushing the bike or the rider. For a while we had two homes. Our main home in Spearfish, and then a little vacation home down in South Texas, which is where we settled after we retired 15 years ago. And that little home that we had built down in Texas is our one and only. It's hot and humid down in Texas at South Padre Island area this time of year. Plus they're big crowds. Everybody likes to come to the beach during the summer, and it is cooler by about 10 degrees on average at the coast down in South Texas compared to inland. There's some of those tar snakes I was talking about. And we're coming to the end of Vanocker Canyon. Half mile or so ahead. I'll take a left and turn into the little community of Nemo. I hope you enjoyed riding along and listen to me babble on. If you enjoyed it, hit like and subscribe. Okay, looking either way here. We're on to Nemo Road now. I'll be turning the video off shortly. Thanks again for riding along. Bye-bye.